You know, I really hope I'm hot enough for this video title. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Valerie and I like to make videos about whatever I want. And so for my lucky subscribers today, I am talking about my stamp collection. Basically, the wonderful, amazing world of philately. I still don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Basically, I just wanted to talk to you guys about my stamp collection and what it, I guess, just means to me. I collect them. I think other people should. I think they're just fun to look at. But yeah, just to talk about it, as you can see by my lovingly arranged stamp set around me, I have quite a few. I have more in a K-pop binder that I bought off AliExpress, and I have more in the mail. I've spent more money on my stamps than I would like to admit, and I felt like I had to do something to compensate. I think I just also kind of want to say that, like, what kind of inspired this video was me just kind of realizing that there's like a lot of stuff out there that people don't really know very much about. Like, I, for basically up until a year ago, thought that stamp collecting was just like specifically like old gray dusty crusty stamps that are used, and it's very like Audrey Hepburn in Charade, you know? It's like you found this really cool stamp and it's worth like $50 billion, and you know, you have to, you know, escape a hunter who's like chasing you, and you're trying to find the value of it, you're trying to defend yourself, you fall in love with, like, you know, a 1960s, you know, celebritant, you know, all of that good stuff. And you know, it was none of that, but I just really wanted to show you guys like my little collection, and I hope you guys like it too. However, I am sweating really bad down here, so I'm actually gonna go stand up and abandon my original idea. Hello and welcome back to the non-corner of my room. I don't know where else to film anymore because the sun gets in my face if I go by the window. I guess this is just kind of like a little spot for me to kind of talk about what, you know, kind of like the whole point of this video is, which is kind of like, I guess, a deep internal exploration of why I wanted to collect stamps in the first place. I don't know how interesting that is, but like, maybe it is. I don't have a deep dark story. My story is actually more of like an anecdote, which is just basically, I was at my job and we had to plan a travel themed party. I saw stamps that I had to buy because they wanted stamps for like decorations for like fake letters that they wanted to send. And as I was scrolling through Amazon to like find like big massive bulk stamps, I just basically said to myself, oh my god, some of these look actually really cool. And then I just basically, like, that night after work, I went through like this terrible rabbit hole of like, oh my god, there's actually really cool stamps out there, how can I get them? For a while, I thought that there was only really one way of stamp collecting. Again, the aforementioned charade, i.e. every stamp looks old, brown, gray, has someone facing the left. And I think I just kind of had to push past that and kind of find what it was that I liked, which was, you know, all the cute stuff and all of the interesting things and all of these like nostalgic designs that I really loved, and, you know, kind of having to dig a little further for that. And I think, am I coming to like a conclusion here? I really do love things for the aesthetic of them. I am more than happy to admit that I don't really know all of the like historics of the stamps that I collect and their meanings and stuff like that. I collect them because they look pretty, and I think we should just all start doing that. Is this what I should be advising people? Like, go buy stamps because they look pretty. That's what I'm telling my audience now. So, bad advice aside, I just basically am trying to say that I lean more towards the visuals that I like, and I encourage that if, you know, this video kind of makes you want to look into it, like, quite literally just look up a thing that you like and then type postage stamp after it in Google, and you more than likely will find something that you would love to have as, you know, a piece of a collection. Ultimately, this is something that I think is meant to be enjoyed. You know, people collect stickers, people collect, you know, postcards, people collect books, people collect all kinds of things, and ultimately, again, I'm just trying to encourage people to like have a collection of something that makes you happy and that you want to kind of keep and develop and kind of have this love for. Like, quite honestly, no one gives a shit about my postage stamp collection except for maybe me and like my girlfriend, and that's it. But like, and I'm pretty sure she's lying to be nice. This is me opening up a piece of myself. You know, opening up my massive K-pop binder and saying, hi, look at, you know, these stamps that I have here. You know, aren't they so pretty? Aren't they so nice? Don't we all love them? I think overall what this video is that it's a very roundabout manner of me saying, collect stamps, look at what I've collected, maybe you could have a collection of your own. I'm a very big advocate for supporting your local mail and supporting your local postage. These things are really important, and I think ultimately, especially amongst all of the union strikes that we've been having, they went on strike a couple years ago, we had another, you know, postage strike. You know, these things are really important, and we should do all that we can to like support the people who deliver our mail every day. But I know what you guys are here for, so let's just start with talking about my actual stamp collection and what I have to show you guys. So if I want to be someone who's like clickbaiting, I think the easiest way to start this would actually be with all of my Sanrio stamps, because part of the thing about stamp collecting when you want to have cute, pretty things is that a lot of your stamps are actually going to come from like Japan and China and South Korea, you know, some of them from Europe, etc., etc. There's a very large culture of postage and sending mail and things like that, so there's kind of always a demand to have pretty stamps and pretty stationery that can kind of work with what you're trying to go for. And that means that Hello Kitty is always in really, really high demand and in high supply. Sometimes they're rare, sometimes they're not. I think the oldest one that I have here is from 2004, I think, and I know that there's older ones out there as well because Sanrio just does not stop. But these are my Hello Kitty stamps. I try to have one of each. So there's a bunch of Dear Daniel collections, there's regular, like, kind of boring, like, first run Hello Kitty, back when, like, I guess you could say this was like them not knowing what to do with it. And Sanrio also started making their own collections for other mascots that weren't just Hello Kitty. There was the recent 45th anniversary of My Melody, and they made a special one for My Melody over in China. This one is from 2020. There's just different kinds. I try to get as many as I can. They're a little harder to come by when it comes to unused because a lot of these are made for children, and children tend to use stamps because they're kind of like stickers, so it's easy. However, my biggest love would be my astrology Hello Kitty set. This was a collaboration with the Singapore Post Office. You're gonna notice that Singapore does a lot of collaborations with companies, but these are my favorite. I think they just look super pretty, and I spent more than I would like to admit trying to get the full collection, which I do actually have by some miracle. And then I also just have these large stamp sheets. These basically tend to be limited run. They're usually for anniversaries, they're celebrations, or it's for, if it's Japan, it tends to be for a specific location that is doing a collaboration with a certain company. So Hello Kitty, for example, this is my favorite, the Yoshi Kitty. I think it's just so fun, and I love seeing her like in a visual case style. I feel like that's different and not something that people are used to seeing, so I just really like it. Another set that I really love is my Domo stamp set. This was actually done a couple years ago, if I remember correctly. It came with like a little folder and everything. And I love it so much. I haven't seen Domo or like Domo related things in such a long time. It really just felt so nostalgic to find it, and I like grabbed it the moment that I could offline. The thing about Japanese stamps is that they basically also go for aesthetics, is what I've also noticed, which means that a lot of international companies you'll actually find on Japanese stamp sets. So I think a good example of that would be the Gaspard and Lisa. They're just like adorable, and when I look at them, like I really want to cry. Like they just look so tiny, they look so small. But they have multiple stamp sets, and they actually just recently released another stamp set, this one right here. They just kind of go with anniversaries, they go with special runs. You can also see that with the character Miffy. She's also like really popular over in Japan, even though she was actually created in the Netherlands. And you can actually see I have some stamps from the Netherlands, and then I have some stamps from Japan. Most of mine are from Japan, but that's just because Japan makes a lot of Miffy themed items. But I do have this kind of cool one that I'm kind of lucky to have, I feel. Like, I know not many people care about it, but it's basically the 65th anniversary of Miffy, and they had created a specialty silver stamp. I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, but it's just this really cool silver stamp that comes in its own case. You're not supposed to use it. And I can't read Dutch, but I'm sure that this says something very dear about Dick Bruna and the fact that he created Miffy. I truly owe my life to that man. I also have here a couple of Rilakkuma stamps. I have some Petite Prince stamps, one from Japan and then one from France. The France one is actually pretty old, and I think it may be my oldest stamp set because it's from 1999. It's actually pretty crazy that I was able to find this in such good condition. They tend to not be when they're that old. But then the Japan one is pretty like run-of-the-mill. It's like a more recent run from 2019. Okay. So this is something that I feel like anyone who was on like Twitter or Tumblr for like all of like what 2019 knows immediately, which is Moomin. It's like the sweetest thing in the world, and I absolutely fell for the craze back when it was like trending for a moment. I don't know if anyone remembers that. All of these are very cute and very sweet. I'm a big fan of these original ones from Finland, just because I really like when stamps come with booklets. I think it's just something really interesting to see, and I get kind of sad that I can't read Finnish because they really do just look so pretty and so interesting, and there's something kind of tender about the way that Moomin looks, and I think having it in like a stamp form makes it a little sweeter because you kind of want to protect it and like not use it a little bit more because you know that like once you used it, it's gone. This one is like a smaller collection that I have because there's just so many of this one character, and this is like, so he's basically like, from what I understand, he's the mascot of the Japanese post office. His name is like Posakuma, which is like postage bear, and he's so adorable. I literally want to eat my stamps when I look at him. He looks so sweet and he looks so friendly, and he had a collaboration with Hello Kitty, and I love him with all my heart. And I just like, I get the same feeling that I do when I look at like the Gaspard and Lisa artwork, where you just kind of like say to yourself, he looks so tiny, like you don't want anything to happen to him. And then one of my final themed collections is actually my like Snoopy and Peanuts stamps. I don't have very many of them because they get kind of pricey, admittedly, but I was able to get this really, really cool summer vacation one that I love dearly just because of the way that they did it. This one is from the Japanese Post, and it's just, it looks so pretty, and it comes with all of these stickers, and it came in a little booklet. And there's something I just really love about having these stamps that are so like adorable. I don't really know how else to put it. They're just nice to look at. I have this really cool set from this comic that has like the prettiest art style, and it's basically an anniversary set for the Miss 13 Dots comic. I, for the life of me, cannot find anything about it like in detail online, but there's something that's just so pretty about the art style and kind of this like 60s, 70s vibe that's going on. This was in collaboration with the Hong Kong Post. It just looks so pretty, and I love that these stamps kind of have like a unique layout and design to them. Like, these genuinely do feel like collector's stamps that you wouldn't really want to use even if you had to. I have a couple more strays. Like, I have these children picture book stamps. I don't actually have the full collection because these also get kind of pricey, but they're just very sweet. I only know some of them. Like, I know that obviously this is the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but I don't know where these like bears are from, and I'm trying to figure it out. It says like it's Kuma no Gakko, but like I don't know of any book that was like the bear's house. And then I have just more strays. I have one that's like an emoticon themed. This one is just to celebrate like the internet. I have more book stamps, like this one is just supposed to be about Peter Rabbit, and it came as like an anniversary from Australia. And I think they just look super gorgeous. I have these Korean stamps that were celebrating like Korean kind of media, and I loved puka when I was growing up as a kid, so I thought that they would be super cute. They also come with stickers, but I don't really want to touch them. Like, it's just kind of like a whole part of the set, you know what I mean? And I feel like if I took out like even one sticker, like I think that would kind of change the way that it looks on its sheet, and I don't really want to like disrupt that, you know? Another thing that I really love about postage stamps, and this is actually why I like trying to buy them unused, is because they'll actually come with little freebies and little things like that. Like, I think some good examples would be these really cute Domo postage cards. I'm obviously never gonna use these. They will stay on my wall for like the end of time. But this like Sanrio postage card came with this little stamp set just off the roll, and I just think they look so pretty, and there's something kind of nice about having this kind of thing put together where you're not just getting a stamp, but you're getting like this little package deal. It comes with a folder, and it comes with its stamps, and it comes with its postcards, and it comes with like all of these things. Like Posukuma, when they did with Hello Kitty, they had this whole booklet, and it's this really incredible thing that's meant to kind of encourage kids to send more letters. However, this one is my absolute holy grail. I still can't believe that I was able to get them. But it's basically a collaboration that Tokidoki did with Singapore Post, where they had these two characters, Zip and Cody, with their own stamp set. It was a limited run. It was made to order back in like 2005, 2006, around there. And basically each toy came with its own stamp set. And you can basically find Zip and Cody anywhere, but you can't really find the stamps because they were very obviously used. And I think like this is just like, it's so crazy to me to have this one in particular because it really did feel like such a miracle to find it. Tokidoki did actually also have a second collaboration with Singapore Post. So this is actually Tokidoki's second collaboration. Their very first one with Singapore Post was like a year or two before this one, and I can't find it anywhere. I'm very sad about that, and at times I wonder if I should just put a bounty for it, but I feel like no one would be able to find it because it was basically a stamp set that came with like, you know, postage and stationery and all of that, and I feel like everyone just kind of used it because why wouldn't they? Part of like the fun of stamps is like using them. But yeah, so those are all of my stamps at the moment, or at least like most of them, I think. At least at the time of filming this, because admittedly, I like to buy stamps when I can, i.e. every paycheck, and I kind of always have more coming in the mail. But I just really hope you guys like this video. It's kind of short and sweet, and there's not very much for me to say, but basically just, I hope that whoever is watching this kind of starts their own collection. Like, even if it's not stamps, I kind of hope that this encourages you guys to like find something that you love and kind of find the joy in, you know, finding this new item that's related to it and kind of being able to store it and to look at it and kind of keep it safe. You know, people have doll collections, people have stamp collections, you know, people have rock collections, things like that. And like they sound like maybe a little silly to some people, but like if it means a lot to you, then have your own collection and have fun with it. And I think that's my like opening statement, and like my ending clause of this video is like, life is short, be cringe. So if like you want to obsess over stamps, like please do so. But either way, I'll be seeing you guys again soon, and I hope one of you guys just start something up for fun. And also, if anyone knows anything about Tokidoki's stamp set, contact me immediately. I will buy them off of you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!